friend. I just really love the prophet Elijah. Maybe partly because I kind of identify with his temperament, but also because God did such incredible things through him and then dealt so sweetly with him when he was overwhelmed. To get the full picture, I really recommend reading 1 Kings chapters 17 and 19. But for a snapshot of what I'm looking at, this is 1 Kings 19, verses 3 to 5. Elijah was afraid and ran for his life. When he came to Beersheba in Judah, he left his servant there, while he himself went a day's journey into the desert. He came to a broom tree, sat under it, and prayed that he might die. "I have had enough, Lord," he said. "Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors." Then he lay down under the tree and fell asleep. Have I mentioned I love Elijah? Man, before this, he has such highs of zeal and passion and boldness, confronting the king, taunting the priests of Baal, calling down fire, slaughtering his enemies, feeding off that adrenaline high. He runs 25 miles, then he just overloads, drops into despair, curls up into himself like an introvert at a party, and tries to escape. "I've had enough, Lord." God's response is so tender, so considerate of the prophet's humanity. He lets him sleep, sends an angel with food, another nap, some more food. Then he's ready to talk. And God asks him twice, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" He takes him up on the mountain to see the great wind and the earthquake and the great fire. And then God speaks to him in a still, small voice. "What are you doing here, Elijah?" God hears Elijah's complaint and gives him the assurance he needs. Even if you can't see it, even if things didn't turn out the way you expect and you feel disappointed and alone, I am still at work. God shares his plans with Elijah, shows him what he'll do next, and invites him into his work. God shows him, here's the next king of Israel, and I'm going to use you to anoint him. Here's the next king of Judah, and you're also going to anoint him. And here's the guy that you get to mentor to carry on this good work that I'm inviting you into. And God tells him, no, you're not alone. I have 7,000 faithful followers in Israel who you don't even know. I think there's a very practical lesson here that body, mind, and spirit are very much interconnected. And sometimes faithfulness and good steward of the life we've been given looks like having a snack and taking a nap and letting God use those to refresh you. God is not unconscious of our human limitations. He made us. And while he does invite us into things beyond our natural capacity, like Paul said, his power is made perfect in my weakness, and all the more the glory to him. Yet he knows all our need and deals kindly with us in our weakness. The angel who brought food tells Elijah, the journey is too much for you. But God first sustains him physically, refreshes him mentally, and then invites him into his plans with the assurance that he has everything in hand. And God's servants are never alone. However overwhelming situations may seem, however disappointed we may be by what we see in front of us, God knows all our need, and we can trust him. Go in peace. Walk in love.